You've probably heard of PMS or premenstrual syndrome, which can have some physical and mental health symptoms in the week-ish before someone with a uterus has their period. And it happens to around 75% of us. It can include bloating, cramps, fatigue, tiredness, low energy, lower mood, more irritability, feeling like your fuse is shorter, headaches and breast tenderness, a lot of other things like that. Now, the difference between that and PMDD, or Premenstrual Dysphoric Disorder, is in the intensity of the symptoms and how much of an impact they have on your ability to function in day-to-day life. So if you're noticing the symptoms, but they're not getting in the way of schoolwork, regular work, your relationships, your ability to do the things you need to do, then it's likely PMS. And again, that's in that 75% of uterus having people like me. Now, for PMDD, it's more in the 10% range. From an evolutionary standpoint, any trait that is beneficial in some way for our evolutionary goals, which are live as long as you can, make babies, help them live as long as they can so they can make babies, will be conserved and passed on to the next generation. In mental health land, there are a number of disorders or conditions that you would think, hey, this has some pretty crappy symptoms and things that I have to deal with. Why in the world does this still exist? Why wasn't this bred out like the short-necked giraffes? The answer to that, when we think about PMDD, requires us to think about those evolutionary goals, which are live as long as you can, make babies. Obviously, we're in the making baby stage. When we're in the first half of our menstrual cycle, we have estrogen levels rising, and that will give us more dopamine receptors for that to bind to. Our mood's better, we're having more energy, our voice actually gets more smooth. We're more pro-social, so want to interact with people, want to go out and do more. And that's going to put us into a position where we're more likely to mate, right? In the second half of our cycle, so the luteal phase, estrogen starts to drop down and we have the progesterone that rises. In that last week and a half-ish, if you have PMDD, you are feeling things that will make you want to most likely stay home, not do a whole lot, not really interact with people, and even push people away a bit. And the risk to you or something bad happening or interacting with the wrong person or something happening to that potentially implanting embryo is going to be much lower than somebody who doesn't have that strong of a reaction. Even though PMDD sucks a lot, it ends up having some evolutionary advantage and stays at a pretty steady rate from one generation to the next. Knowing this does not lessen how much it sucks to experience PMDD symptoms, and it does not take away from the fact that there are things you can do on a day-to-day, month-to-month basis that can lessen those impacts, but it does give you a lens to see why our brains and our bodies behave the way that they do. If you'd be interested in learning what some of the natural interventions are for PMDD that can alleviate some of the distress it causes on a month-to-month basis, drop a comment below, and any other comments, please let me know as well. Hope you have an awesome week. Take care.
Serotonin, dopamine, the mind is more than can be seen. It's intricate, not just a mix of chemicals.